Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The drifters, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2,849. Along with Steve the Throw Hill, the Ted Smith, Woman Fox, and my cock. And the men's room. On tap today, bitches, we are 3 days away from Red Festival. Coming up, Who Sucks Less? The return of Ask the Men's Room. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, a men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted.
Clack. Drinking it drunk.
All right, here we go. Hawaii, come for the beaches. Get sick taking selfies at molten lava flows. Off to Ireland we go, where a man nicknamed Spider-Man's legend grows. New York hoarder who dies in house fire was a model, rocket scientist, and a doctor, too. Another story where a dead snake makes a man's face turn blue. And a man pretends to be a 3-star general and lands a helicopter at a woman's workplace. All to impress her. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, if you live in the state of Florida, there's all kinds of natural things that are out to kill you. Alligators, pythons, panthers, poisonous spiders, etc. Well, now you can add poisonous caterpillars to the list. A teen discovered this the hard way after she just touched one of them and then had to be hospitalized. More on that in a bit. Meanwhile, Chicago Cubs pitcher Brandon Morrow, all right, he couldn't pitch in a recent doubleheader against the Dodgers because he'd injured his back. And sure, professional athletes injure themselves all the time. But Brandon injured his back taking off his pants at home. I don't know how he takes off his pants, but he should do it less aggressively. Now, like the poisonous caterpillar, this seems like a weak-ass way to hurt yourself. But look, they're human. We're human. We've all injured ourselves in some dumbass way, even when we know better. Like, think about cutting through a bagel or slicing through an avocado. Now, chances are you're impatient. You hold it in your hand while pushing a knife toward your own palm, also known as the wrong way to cut an avocado. But everybody does it. Well, guess what? Is it Joy Behar, or Bear? Joy Behar?
Behar.
Because to me, that sounds like, smoking the bear. Anyway, the co-host from The View and some random bachelorette, both of them made the news recently. They both cut themselves opening an avocado because they did it the way everybody does it, right? Here's the thing. People injure themselves in stupid and or embarrassing ways. Today, just come clean. Just tell us. No one will laugh. It's a men's room blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself blanking.
Be a part of the big show. Call 844-9990. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to themensroom@mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, the Charles Hand, away we go. Welcome to show number 2,849. What a large and charge program we have for you. As bitches, we are only 3 days away from Red Festival. Get ready and for a little outdoor drinking and a day filled with all-day music. Freestyle motocross, all kinds of great food, including Men's Room sausage. Over 20 beers available on tap. Get those tickets now on sale at mensroomlive.com. Who sucks less? We have not gotten a word on who sucks less. Are we going to be able to tolerate this one?
I don't know. Mike and I talked about it in the office, and one of the stories we talked about openly, and everyone was like, man, that's a terrible story. But then Mike and I both agreed, we both agreed that they suck the least.
Because, the news is so happy. We figured we would bring 3 stories, and then you tell us one of those, which one sucks the least. So it's not nearly as bad as the others. Also coming up, the return of As the Men's Room. We'll drink and toast with a shot of the day and another round of Profile This coming up. And we start today with this story, and it involves Chicago Tribune restaurant critic Phil Vettel. Mm-hmm. And as the story goes, Phil just wanted something to eat. He makes his living thinking about food, writing about food, and, of course, eating. So surely, they say, in the comfort and safety of his own home, well, Phil could find something to snack on. And, in fact, he did find the perfect thing, an avocado. Now, here's where the story gets a little dicey. He said, I had just had my knife sharpened, and so when I split the avocado into two perfect halves, the blade slid through the fruit as though it were butter. His anticipation increased, but the pit, the woody ping-pong ball-shaped orb in the middle, that was a little bit more stubborn. He said, I couldn't get it out, so I started to dig in with the tip of the knife. Unfortunately, he was holding the avocado and pit in his unprotected hand, which is where the freshly sharpened knife ended up when it slipped, jamming deep into his finger. He remained calm. He waited, but the bleeding would not stop.
Yeah.
And so Phil wound up at the emergency room where he found out he was not the first foodie to fall victim of his love of the avocado. In fact, injuries connected with avocados are so common there is a name, even a hashtag. Do we know that?
I don't know, man.
Avocado hurts?
Avocado hand. This week, Steve, as you were saying earlier, talk show host Joy Behar, or whatever, I'm glad we don't actually know that, missed work on The View because she was hospitalized for an infection after an avocado hand incident. In other words, she didn't go to the emergency room.
Of course not.
That would be my guess, because if not, if they'd have seen that,
It probably wouldn't get infected.
It would have got infected.
By the way, I just want to point out one thing about the food critic. Mm-hmm. He's still such a foodie that when he's telling the stories about him injuring himself, he still took the opportunity to point out my two perfect halves of avocado.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Like, man, just say you cut it in half.
That's
Only a
what he
foodie's going to tell you. My two,
yeah.
I wanted you to know, before I injured myself, it was two perfect halves.
You think they were drinking?
I mean, hell.
Maybe, but even dead sober, everyone knows, that same thing with the bagel.
Right.
But
it could have
all
been,
do it, man.
I don't think it adds to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're cutting using that technique, there's a good chance. Like, sometimes, man, and that's the last thing you want to do is be the person to tell people how to do things. But, you know, when you watch your kid grab a knife and you just got to say, look, man, sorry. I'm not spending a couple of hours in the emergency room, and this is not happening. And first of all, you need a serrated knife. You're using the wrong knife. I try to explain all these things. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think you could say it to kids. I think, adults.
The kids.
You would never want to say it to your wife. You would never.
No.
You go to the emergency room. You're just going to end up going to the. You would be better off going to the emergency room than you would be saying that that's the incorrect way of doing something.
I mean, I remember my grandmother, the way she cut bagels. She would always say, "Don't cut them this way."
Well, then she knows. Bachelorette star Andy Dorfman. Man, I tell you what, she was definitely the best. I don't know why she didn't get.
She was my favorite.
She was mine as well. Was she the main? I guess was she the Bachelorette?
I do not know.
Right.
I don't know.
Either way, posted on social media about her surgery. She had surgery for avocado hand. Meryl Streep, we know her. She had it. She showed her hand being bandaged, I guess, in 2012. The rise in injuries obviously attributed to the fruit's rise in popularity. And then they give us all kinds of great avocado facts, which I don't really care about one way or another. Bless you.
Bless your ass.
Patients, though, look, one thing that they definitely say is, like, they're seeing a lot of these patients coming in, trying to stab the pit. The knife slips off the pit, stabbing their hand. Patients do sort of sometimes a hacking motion with the long blade of the knife into the pit and hack into the webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. The worst one, you got it. Going through the tendon.
Yep.
You'll be looking at an appointment with a hand surgeon for further assessment. We want to make sure you're good there and regain good function. Even if you do make it through the ER without much drama, you'll still have to weather the avo hand attitude of your friends and family. They say,
hand.
Be prepared to be mocked. The injury may be common, but it is commonly mocked.
Is it really mocked?
Avocado hand, the most millennial injury ever. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, trust me.
I'd mock them.
Yeah.
I'd mock you if you called it avocado hand. But we've all done it, man.
I mean, I've done it with a serrated knife once, but it was Thanksgiving and I was drunk. I just feel like with avocados, like, they're so soft. Like, I'm always very careful.
I am, but you still hold it wrong. Like, I say all of this.
Nah,
If
you know
I have
what?
an avocado, it's in my hand, right, and I try to slice around it. But there's always a point where my hand is the target.
Yeah.
We all do it. Same thing with the bagel.
This guy just said something about seeing it happen to the waiter. And who has heard of tableside guacamole?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, have you guys had that?
Yes.
In Mexico.
Where?
Not in the States, but sure.
Honestly, you want to know the first place I ever had it?
Where do you get this?
Was with Dennis Hoff in Nevada.
Okay, right.
And he kept calling it tableside guacamole.
Because they'll cut up all the onions and all, and they get the big muddler.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Like, I never
There's
heard
certain
of it.
restaurants like in the
I'm
States
going.
that'll do it.
Where?
But that dude shouldn't. That'd be like the Japanese chef at the Japanese steakhouse lighting himself on fire.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, you're here for the show. You can't do that. So that guy cut himself.
Wow. Tableside guacamole. Now,
Oh, yeah.
now my mind is-
Salsa, guacamole.
now my mind is completely off the whole injury thing. Like, now I'm just thinking about tableside guacamole.
We got to get you out, man.
I'm so ADD. All right, here's one more for you, and this involves the pitcher for the Cubs, closer Brandon Morrow. A pitcher was unavailable for the doubleheader against the Dodgers, and his pants are to blame. The pitcher was unavailable due to a back injury he suffered as a result of taking down his pants.
Yes, blame the pants.
Just undressing in my house, Morrow, who has 16 saves on the season, told reporters, it's like 3 a.m. in the closet, got my right leg off, is he? Left one just felt like a spasm in my back. It's frustrating anytime you can't get out of there, especially when you can't go because of something stupid like taking your pants off. Getting hurt anytime is frustrated, but when it's not related to throwing a baseball, it's even that much more frustrating. Now, as far as the back goes, the spasm, the pinch, all that stuff, that does happen. I have had weird pains, but nothing that would keep me debilitated for over a day. You know what I mean? Like where I wouldn't be able to do my job.
Well, we say, maybe not do our job.
I'm saying
but if you are a professional pitcher, even if his pain is no more severe than any of the dumb things we've done, right? Like the weird sneak, but we get to sit here. He has to stand on the mound and
use
throw
your
a
back
ball.
a lot when you throw.
I'm with Thrill because he's pitching, right? Because it happened to me like a month ago. I don't know how to explain it. Just had a weird back nerve.
It happens every once.
So for a couple days, right? Every once in a while, I'd stand up or sit down and just be like excruciating.
Was there an action involved?
I slept.
Right. Sometimes you wake up and when you swing your leg out of bed.
Maybe I lifted something, but I'm just saying, like, I could sit down and sit up with the pain, but I don't know if I could stand on a mound.
That's
like,
the difference.
Physically
We've
throw.
all done it. Like you said, you injured yourself sleeping, right? You wake up, you do something wrong. I don't know. You grab something wrong and your back's effed. But again, it sucks, but I can come in here, man. Like, I know it hurts, but I'm just sitting here.
So after the show yesterday, I decided to walk home. All right?
Yeah.
But I'm walking with a weighted pack on.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I'm walking across the bridge. I'm walking up some stairs to get to the bridge, and I hear a pop in my calf. And I'm like, ow, what the hell's that? And I look down today, and I've got like something just blew out.
Look at that.
In the back of my calf.
Damn.
Walking. I was walking.
Right.
What were you doing?
Does it still hurt?
Yes, like
It
hell.
looks like it hurts.
I was walking. It was crazy. I forgot about that.
Look
That
at that
could
again.
have tied into the question.
That's
Yeah.
that doesn't look good, man.
No, it didn't feel good either. Men's or blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
You worried about that at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I think I have too many of these. Like, I've hurt myself sledding, hurt myself falling off a balcony.
But is it worse to hurt yourself doing something where everyone told you you're going to hurt yourself, or is it worse like being like the baseball dude where you're taking off a pair of pants and you throw out your back?
I think the sledding's worse because my buddy was like, don't go down on that wood pallet. I was like, no, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but you knew, okay, when you say it all out loud, you know the risk involved. You're signing up for the danger.
You know the danger.
So it's different, okay, than if you were
Evil
to go.
Knievel.
If you were to go play golf frisbee, and I mean, just
disc golf,
and end up in traction
and rip your knee out or something like that's messed up.
Right. If a guy from Jackass gets injured, you go
all right. Well, if you're going to take a crate down a ice street that basically could have dumped you off 40 feet onto an interstate anyway,
you knew what you were getting into.
You could have flown through like.
There's a lot of Jaeger influence.
Yeah, right.
The one I like, I guess you were in a dance contest or something?
Oh, yeah, my senior year. Homecoming.
See,
dance
contest. This one you don't think it's risky.
Right. Dance contest. I'm close. There's only 3 people left. And then, boom, dislocate my knee, go down.
Oh, I'm telling you. Look, man.
I'm sorry.
Why would you?
That's not a good look.
No, it was unbelievable.
See, I think that's worse than the sledding. Because there's no inherent danger. You're good enough that you're one of the final three, and then your knee goes down. And the reason I laugh is because I'm picturing you just dropping like a box of rocks in front of that many people.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah.
And everybody circled around Ty Schoolslow like, oh,
Yeah.
damn. Tiny Eye.
I told you I went to a dog park in Florida down where my uncle is. He gets up every morning, like takes a dog to the dog park. I'm like, I'll go. Oh my God, it's one of the most dangerous places in the world.
What do you mean?
50, 60-pound dogs flying and running as fast as they can, chasing balls. I mean, like, I cannot believe, I think there was a couple times I'm like, somebody's gonna get a blowout knee. It's gotta happen, man. Just wasting the fact these dogs don't look and they run like 4 or 5 in a row, man. They're coming like, chasing balls, chasing each other.
I saw a dude get run over by his, same situation, but dude got run over by his own Rottweiler as he'd had it for like 2 weeks. As he's telling us how awesome his Rottweiler is, but it was one of like 5 dogs chasing his Whippet. The Whippet literally ran between his legs. And as he turns around, here comes his dog, man. And
he just cleaned him out.
This dude was so pissed. I mean, it was awesome because it was muddy out and there were literally the muddy footprints, almost like you drew them on. God damn it, man. But, hey, bro, you got to keep your head on a swivel, brother.
Men's room blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Wait a minute. Is it I hurt myself doing blank or hurt myself blanking?
Whatever you want.
I just think it sounds funny.
You hurt yourself
blanking.
blanking. All right.
Thank you. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Sir.
Hola.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm enjoying the weather today, so doing pretty good.
Nice.
So, going back about, my son's almost 19, so about 14, 15 years ago or so, we went and picked up one of those make-your-own-home birdhouse kind of deals, so we kind of bond on the weekend. So, I took the front piece and I had it wedged. I was sitting on a picnic table, and I had the wood between my knees kind of holding it in place. I got the drill bit, and I'm cutting out the hole for where the birds would go in and out. And the bit went right through and right into my calf.
Ah. How deep?
So I still have a scar. It's about a 4-inch scar, and it went about a half an inch to an inch deep.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you have to then put the drill in reverse to get it out, or do you just yank it out?
It went right through and came out the side. So,
it went through. Ooh.
So what I did was I ended up, I had duct tape, so I duct taped it, put him in the front seat of the car, and I drove with my leg on the dash to the hospital, and got 7 stitches.
All right, let me ask you this. What kind of sound or what kind of words came out of your mouth?
So I was a soldier, so everything I learned in boot camp came out of my mouth.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I actively do not use profanity around my children, but I was swinging a hammer not that long ago, hit my thumb, and they got a life lesson in some words that await them. If you can think of it, I said it.
Did you ever get the birdhouse completed? Did it ever become a wonderful home for the birds?
Yes, and the funny thing was we had to use a different color stain because there was blood stains on it, so we had to use a different color for some of the wood.
Yeah, it could have paid.
You would think some of the birds would be freaked out, like, dude, I'm telling you, there's blood all over this goddamn birdhouse. You don't know somehow that doesn't bother birds. Like, blood to me, if you can't identify why it's there, it's not good. There was an ATM I went to. There was blood on it.
Oh.
Right? And there was no one around, but there was blood on the ATM. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to use this. And I just feel like if I'm a bird.
I think that's a sign.
Right. And like if I'm a bird, like, man, I'd love to eat that food, but I'm telling you, the house is covered in blood. Right?
You think the birds could tell if it was human blood?
Doesn't matter. Look, the ATM could have been any kind of blood in the world. Wasn't necessarily human. Who knows what it was? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Courtney. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey.
Hola.
So, when my daughter was potty training, but like she wasn't professional at it yet, she peed on my hardwood floor in the living room, and I went running out there, and I slipped like it was cartoons, you know, where your legs go up in the air and stuff, and I...
Oh,
Are you
no! What happened?
Wait, so
Courtney,
we
are you there? You cut out.
Your phone cut out right when you said you slipped up in the air.
Cartoonish?
Oh, like a cartoon, you know, like where your legs go up in the air, and I fractured my foot, and I had to wear one of those weird moon boot things.
So, like, when you go, how honest are you with the doctor? You're just like, yeah, man, I slipped and my kids pee.
I totally did because it was funny and I was laughing and it was ridiculous.
How bad did you break your foot?
Not that bad because it already had pins in it from when I broke it a different time.
Oh, nice.
So I just had to wear like this little moon boot thing and clomp around and look dumb for like 6 weeks.
Thank God it was broke before.
Now remember, anyone out there considering having kids, that is life. You broke your foot slipping in kid pee.
Did your daughter see you?
Yes, and she laughed.
Well, sure she did.
Well, it's funny.
And did she just I guess she was just probably walking around and just peed and it went down.
I think because she wasn't like all the way, good at it, but she
obviously she peed on the floor.
Okay.
Right.
How did you break your foot the first time legitimately? If there is such a thing.
No, so seriously, I was a bartender and I don't know, but my foot started hurting really bad and like every day it hurt so bad and it started like getting really swollen up. And I remembered kind of like catching it on the side of a bar stool one night, but I was busy, so I had to keep working. And then finally my mom was like, if you don't shut up, I'm going to chop your foot off. So I went to the doctor and it was broken.
Wait, hold on. Your mother didn't say, if you don't go to the doctor, I'll chop it off myself. Your mother said, if you don't shut up.
She said, if you don't shut up about it and go to the doctor, I'm just going to chop it off. Yes.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Slipped in kid pee.
Yeah. Well, it's the only time. It's the only time like pee doesn't matter to somebody else's. It's sad but true. Like if I got dog pee on me from my own dog or whatever, I would be like, oh man, because I've cleaned up enough pee pads before where it's just dripping and stuff. Right. And you're like, this is freaking disgusting.
But it's because it's your
dog.
Kid, and even with that, it's limited to pee. It's limited to pee. It's limited to pee, right? Because the poop's still not cool. Boogers out of the question. It still stops with pee. It does not go farther than that. And it's still not awesome. But it's like, and you know why I think that is? Because almost everyone has had their kid pee in their face. And once you take it to the face.
And then when they become potty trained.
It can't be worse
And then when they become potty trained, then they become a part of the other club. So they become a part of the pee is universally gross club. You know what I mean? Like if your 10-year-old accidentally pees on you, it's not the same as your 3-year-old accidentally.
Oh, no, there's an age cut.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like you moved on to the rest of
everything with kids. You can puke on me up until a certain age. You can pee on me, you can poop on me. And listen, the poop thing, that's done.
Yeah, then the only other person that can really poop on me or pee on me or puke on me is the person I'm dating.
Now, a pet. That's the only one that gets a pass. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever.
I'm trying to think of a girl. If I was dating a girl and she pooped in the bed, I'd be like, "What is going on?"
I mean,
I dated a girl whose dog pooped in our bed.
Sure, but you're going to get puked on in the course of a relationship. If you do, right? It's inevitable.
But you've never slipped on one while sleeping. Never slipped on a.
No, I tried to poop in a chair in the bedroom once, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to take an ass." I'm like, "You're sitting in a chair." I'm like, "Good call." But I didn't make any contact with the chair.
Problem with pooping in the bed in a hotel room.
What do you mean the only problem?
The problem is
you just stated it.
There's no real place to strip the bed and put the sheets for the cleaning ladies to not know that you crapped the bed. It's like, when you're a kid and you pooped and you streaked your underwear a little bit. And
I call that I pooped.
If you hid the underwear in the corner of the laundry basket, maybe
somehow
your mom
they won't notice.
Wouldn't find it and know you pooped a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's no place to hide those sheets. From the people
Did
who
you
are
leave
knocking
them a
on
tip?
that door. Well, of course you leave them a substantial tip.
How much money?
I don't know.
What was it worth to?
Probably dropped $40. Something like that. Well, I crapped all over the sheets.
$100.
Well, I mean, that was one day. That was the first day I was there. Like, I was going to tip him out at the end, but I still felt like I had to tip him.
Oh, okay. All right.
That
okay.
day.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Normally you keep the sheets on for a couple nights.
They should have just kept them on.
Exactly. Men's Room Blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999. Ola, hold the line where your call's coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
A fisherman returning to a Portuguese beach encountered, quote, a scene of horror. Early Tuesday, the unrecognizable bodies of a tourist couple who appeared to have fallen 100 feet to their deaths while trying to take a selfie. Britt Louise Benson and her Aussie boyfriend, 33-year-old Michael Kearns, were found at Fisherman's Beach at the bottom of a 100-foot wall on top of which sat a phone, according to the Bristol Post. Everything seems to indicate that the fall happened when they were probably trying to take a selfie. It seems they dropped their mobile phone and fell down while leaning over to retrieve it. Witnesses saw the couple, who had been staying at the local hotel, crossing a safety barrier and sitting on the wall with their legs facing the sea before they toppled from view. A day earlier, Benson and Kearns had shared photos on social media showing them enjoying Fisherman's Beach and with a point from which they would fall visible in the background. They departed their home in Australia in January on a lengthy holiday and had recently attended a friend's wedding in Portugal, which is why they were there. Our question, men's room blank style. I hate to admit it, but I heard myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
The truth is, they really put a damper on the wedding. Right? Here you are, you're going to get married. You're like, yeah, well, they didn't make it because they fell off a damn cliff. Sorry. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
You can't stop the signal, boys.
Hola.
It's good to know. Thank you. Right there.
How you boys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing fine. Just trying to stay cool in this heat that we're having.
Okay. Yeah. It's 75 degrees is brutal.
Yeah, as low as 80, 85 or something. Yeah. So I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself trying to lift a 500-pound and possibly heavier steel beam.
With your bare hands by yourself?
Bare hands, basically by myself, more or less. So this happened when my company got a call that they wanted us to load test some fall arrest anchorages. Thing is, these anchorages were not made by a professional, basically builder who does that.
You can always tell. You can always tell that, though. I mean, right off the bat, I look and go like, you know what? That's not the guy.
Well, you were wrong that one time.
Well,
but to be fair, it's only once.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good record of that, about 95%. But go on.
Anyway, so we get them into our lab, and let me preface this by saying we do have a forklift, but the reaction beams were all the way in the back of our storage room, and our forklift can't fit through the halls to get there. So
that's why Steve recommended that they put them all in the front, but they didn't earlier on. And once they put them in the back, and he said, "Hey, you can't get them through the back hallway, so put them in the front." There's no way the forklift's going to get in the back. But continue.
So we get them out to the lab, no problem. We have them on a dolly, but as we're trying to get them onto the one onto the anchorage. To this day, I don't know, maybe my grip slipped or I didn't get a very good grip on it. But coming straight to the chase, I turned my back wrong and I threw my back out.
Yeah, it's a 500-pound beam, man. You just had to know.
And you had a...
that was cutting to the chase. Yeah. By the way, Miles, a comment came in. You said, it's 75 degrees. It says, it's 90, you smart mouth F face.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hate hot weather. I can't take it.
Smart mouth F face.
God, who bitches about the heat? I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
A couple of comments came in. Said we were talking about you had dislocated your knee during a dance competition.
Correct. Homecoming.
This person says, I dislocated my knee the first time just climbing into the back seat of a minivan.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive.
Dude, I dislocated it once just jumping into sand on the beach.
Knee dislocation talk.
Well, when it's going to slip, you know it. And the problem is you feel it coming, and it's like you can't stop it. And sometimes you can try to straighten out your knee to pop it back before it happens.
That's what I always. But the problem is, once it dislocates, you just got to lay there for a minute and be like, "All right,
here we got to do it."
Somebody painfully straighten my leg out,
and then you go like, "Ah!"
Pops back in.
Good time.
God, I hate that. Men's room blank question. I hate to admit it, but I heard myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.